Okay, in this video, I'm going to go over how to set up your distribution layout of a water scheme in Epanet. So here we have a KMZ of a water scheme called Mutyambua. And this water scheme will have a core set of pipes that are installed in phase one, a core distribution system that may hopefully later will be expanded into a much larger distribution system and potentially have household connections. So I am going to, in this video, I'm going to go over taking your original KMZ and how to do an Epanet model layout for this type of situation. So the first thing I want to do in this first video, part one, is show the original layout that we have here and point out some things, some improvements that can be made to here. The key when you're laying out your Epanet model, the key thing to keep in mind is to make the Epanet model look like the KMZ. So here's the map of the distribution system in Google Earth, also known as the KMZ, and if you compare it to this Epanet model, it looks very different. One thing, the tank location, here it's in the bottom right, and this is with a north orientation, and in this Epanet model it's in the top right. Now, it's not required to use a north orientation in your Epanet model. It's a decision you need to make. North orientation is preferred, but if the shape of the layout is such that turning it would really help you utilize your space in Epanet better, then you can turn it. However, for this project, the north orientation fits nicely in a rectangular window, so there's no reason to change the orientation for Epanet. So we would like to use a similar orientation in Epanet. But the second and most important thing is that the Epanet model layout should have the same shape as the KMZ layout. Long pipes should look, the relative length of pipe links in Epanet should relatively match the KMZ within reason, so that your Epanet layout takes the same shape as the KMZ. One thing I'll point out especially is these three branches here. There's a branch to the market, a branch down to Mutyambua and Kiosk 2, and then there's a branch to Kiosk 1 here. If I look at the KMZ, you have the branch to Kiosk 1 on one side, it's on the right side. You have the branch to the market taps and these other taps, these three taps, in the middle. And then you have the branch down to Kiosk 2 and Mutyambua kiosk on the other side. So the market branch is in the middle. On the Epanet, you have additional Kiosk 1 on one side, and you have Mutyambua branch in the middle with Kiosk 2. And then you have the market branch with its three taps on the other side. So it's the Epanet is not even taking the same shape. And when you're going to review a design like this, the hydraulic characteristics may be correct in this layout, but it's very hard to review, and it's even harder to edit. If you want to add a tap somewhere, or you want to add household connections, or you want to add a junction with base demands, it's very hard to edit. It's very easy to make mistakes when you're editing and put a branch in the wrong place because the layout of Epanet is not similar to the layout of the KMZ. So that's first what I wanted to point out. In this next video, I will start from scratch and just do a quick demonstration of how I would go about making the layout for this KNZ.